touches a child that's underage or flirts with a child underage or shows interest in a child underage, that should be jail. Especially if you knowingly know this child is underage. You know what I mean? But we see it on a regular, like, bro, what do you do if you're in your 50s, 60s years? What are you even thinking about looking at a 16, 17-year-old for?
So okay. And like I said,
like you that desperate? Sorry.
No, you did. Like I said earlier too, y'all gonna jump down my throat, and it's cool. So that's what we here for. But you know how like y'all be scrolling and see these little girls, these little girls twerking and doing all of that. To me, and even in our culture, like with carnival and stuff like that, like I know we say it's for the culture that we have these little kids out on the road playing mass, things like that, but to me, I feel like we're feeding that.
So me personally, I can't say that as a man because I get jumped on when I say, because I used to say that all the time.
Are you gonna get jumped on?
People used to say, oh, well, that's not giving men excuses, and it's not no reason. And I'm not saying children should not be able to enjoy themselves and enjoy the culture, but there's a point to where children should always be children.
Right.
You understand? Even if you're outside dancing and enjoying the culture, you shouldn't be half naked. You shouldn't be pussy popping. You shouldn't be doing nothing Sexy Red is talking about. Nothing Sexy Red is talking about is for children.
Well,
nothing.
Nothing Sexy Red is talking about is Caribbean, so.
Well, no, we're not just talking about Caribbean. We just talking about Caribbean
in general, but
well,
like.
Okay, well, I say carnival, so that's what I clocked it at.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you're speaking, like, if we say anything in reference to Caribbean, I personally have always said we should gatekeep our Caribbean culture and keep it to ourselves because anybody outside sexualizes it and then it's pushed as a sexual thing and now it's fucked it up for everybody.
But children are still different. Like, for instance, Pumpa. If your name ends with an A, I shouldn't, if you are 16 and under, you should stand up. No. Stand up. Yeah, your name don't end with an A until you turn. Who you better know before?
Yeah, no.
That is a sexualized
form. The song is insane. I personally would not have my kids jumping up to that song.
But it happens, and that's what I mean. I've watched so many videos where I'm truthfully disgusted because it's like y'all are here cheering on these little girls. Even in the Hispanic heritage, I've seen videos where it's like they're encouraging these little boys to get behind these little girls, and it's like, and they're little children.
Okay, have you on like the little boys too? Because what was it? A few years ago, there was this one celebrity. I don't remember their name, but he has like a toddler son. And what he decided to do, this is going to be some absurdity, guys, so prepare yourselves. What this man decided to do was, he said, you know what, my son, I don't want him to grow up gay, so I'm going to get a stripper.
I think I heard that for his birthday or something like that, to give him his first lap dance.
Fourth birthday, fifth birthday, and he's like, I'm going to make sure he gives him a lap dance. I'm
going to get him a lap dance for his birthday.
I'm like, you just traumatized your son. Like, the kid is 5. He doesn't know what's going on, and you have a whole. First things first, the stripper's disgusting for even participating in that.
But that's why I feel like we as a society has robbed children of their childhood. We are making these children grow up way too fast.
Kids can't play outside anymore; they're gonna get snatched up. Kids can't do anything anymore. Like
but we put them in front of these like computers and laptops and phones, and that's what's raising them. And you think you have things filtered.
You don't.
Anybody that thinks they give their child a computer or a phone and have things filtered is a retard.
Listen, man, I'm gonna tell you something so real. I grew up on I'm the generation that grew up with no filter when that wasn't an option. So I grew up on the free internet, everything. I've seen so many.
Like
things.
Anything you think your child don't know, they know. Like I don't.
They know more than us.
Yeah, they
grown adults.
They definitely do. They definitely do. It's not even. My whole thing is just that we just, as a society, period, we don't raise children no more. There's no, if, I'm not saying when I was 12 and 13, girls wasn't popping their ass and doing all this, but we did it outside of adult company. We did it when we was by ourselves.
We did it when we couldn't get catch.
Right. we don't, you know what I mean?
We come from the days of licks.
When my parents had parties, we was in the bedroom having our party, and they was out there partying.
Right.
We wasn't allowed to come out and take time and bend over, and we wasn't allowed to.
Listen, I remember the first time I went to a party with my parents and I started whining. My mother chased me to the next side.
Yeah, yo,
Because
because
she's like, whoa, whoa.
what is that?
Whoa. And I was grown. I was like 16.
Man, listen, we don't.
I did not start dancing in front of my mom until I was, how old am I now? 24?
24.
So yeah, 22.
Yeah, because it's like you comfortably.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, because you
But
know
we grew up, and that's something that I was talking about recently, is like we grew up different. Like we grew up with
respect,
manners, right?
respect,
Hello, good evening,
Upbringing.
good afternoon.
Y'all did act a damn fool.
upbringing.
Y'all
What-
would say good night, go
Right.
in your room and do the most
But
atrocious-
understandable. But that's what children. That's what children.
But at least we had the
I
respect.
did with triplets at 16.
But that's what
Afterwards,
children-
I
hello.
didn't take the day good night.
But we still had a respect.
We still had
and-
respect.
Right, we had a respect in front of parents, in front
of
in
the
front
adults.
of them.
Behind their back is
Yes.
different.
Yes, you right. Yes, behind their back we was tellers, but in front of them,
Menaces.
in front of them,
I don't know what
you
you're
what I
talking
mean?
about.
Good evening. Good evening.
Because the same parents that beat y'all for doing whatever you got in trouble for, you proceeded after the beating to wipe your tears.
And then did it again.
Right,
Did the same shit.
right, right.
I don't know what
Right.
you're talking about. I was a good girl.
Right.
Just like all of a sudden, damn, mommy not hitting as hard. You know what?
But that's how it's supposed to be. You supposed to have that fear of getting your ass
But
busted
that's the
doing shit
thing
like
that
that.
these kids don't have fear anymore
Because-
of authority. don't
Because
have
they
fear
made
of
it that way.
authority no
You can't beat these kids no more. If you scared of jail, you can't beat these kids no more. And that's another thing. We have parents as pussies now.
There's a difference between beating your kids and being disciplining your kids.
You
Let's
can't
put
discipline
that
you.
out
You
there.
can't physically.
Yeah,
You can't.
You're
You
right.
can't physically discipline your
Let's
child.
take that disclaimer before somebody
Yeah.
jumped into our inbox talking about child
Because
abuse.
You
you
can't-
can't.
yeah.
I can't even beat the shit out of my kid anymore. Like,
Yeah.
you can't.
You can't physically discipline your child no more.
We are not talking about abuse, guys. We're
But
talking
But
about
even
discipline.
back then though, like you wasn't allowed to bust your children's ass. But our parents will tell you they'll go sit down in jail
Call 911 like a
Before-
bus
yeah.
ass till they reach.
before you disrespect them. They'll go down. They'll go to jail.
Call 911. My dad used to be my mother favorite
Yeah.
tip. Call 911. I got bust your ass
These
till they
parents,
reach.
these parents today, bitches.
I am gonna stand right behind. I'm gonna stand on it. All the beatings that y'all got did not prevent you from doing the stupid shit that you.
No, it actually, I'm gonna tell you, for me,
No, you no.
yeah, for
Mhm.
me,
Prevented you from doing the stupid
yes.
shit?
Let me tell you something, right? I did shit, but had I not got whooped,
yeah, we'd
shit
have
would have been a whole
yeah,
nother.
been, definitely. Like
Trust.
now that I'm older, I'm thankful
Trust.
for my ass whooping.
You know what I
I
mean?
was never a kid to grow up to be like, and also kids around me, like all my friends or the people who I went to school with, nobody had the issue to where they were like, yeah, let's bust it open behind our parents' back. Like we never had that issue. It was just like, really in school, everybody, me growing up, we on our phones. We have the internet now, so everybody's like not even talking to each other in real life. Like,
But that's what it
Well,
is,
yeah,
right?
see,
We come from the
we didn't
times
have
where
that.
we played outside.
We didn't have that.
I played outside. Don't get me wrong. I played outside. I climbed a tree, almost broke my wrist.
Yeah, but see how often
Right.
did you do that?
A lot actually.
That was
And
a
I would say it stopped after my generation for sure.
like
it
that was a
happened.
every like I
Because
I
you
got
have
out
to
of
remember,
school.
like, YouTube didn't come out until 2008. I was at least 8 years old when YouTube came out. So by that time, I was already playing outside, doing this and that. Like all these main social media that's popping right now didn't come out until like 2008, 2011. Like I was already going into middle school at that point.
Like you can't go outside in the summertime up north no more and see no little girls
But
playing
this what I'm
dumb
saying,
and
like-
shit like that.
all the time, rolling
Like,
in the grass.
We couldn't wait.
acting
Man,
like a
listen,
fool.
I-
And be in before the sun goes, before the light come on,
But also,
the street light come on.
times have changed to where you really can't. Some people are too nervous to have their kids outside to play because we got a lot of weirdos outside now.
But
A lot of
that's
freaks
because
outside.
nobody's outside no more. Like you
Right.
couldn't have weirdos like that as often as now because we gonna see you.
I'm gonna say, well, what I'm saying is, like, kids can't play, but
Like-
adults aren't there to monitor as much
The
as
cra-
they.
you
would
know
be.
what?
We don't have the old people sitting outside watching. Just
Right,
like,
right. But then you know what's crazy too? Not to condone it, but even like the drug dealers that used to be on the streets,
No,
like they was
what they
outside
say is
watching
if
them
they know-
kids.
If it's their block and they know, like, okay, I
Right.
know that's Miss whatever kid. I'm make like they're watching the corner of their house.
Right.
We don't have like what I'm saying is even now like a lot of we don't have authority figures outside who actively monitor or at least just
It's
like,
true.
be outside because nowadays even like a lot of the elders, my elders in my family, the other day I saw her scrolling on TikTok. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
How you know how to get up? How'd you make it a cat?
Not my mother.
Like, that's what I'm
Yeah.
My mother don't even know how to turn on a computer.
But
Thank you,
that's what I'm saying,
Jesus.
but they're not-
Now my mother,
they're not
she don't do
trying
TikTok,
to
but she on there.
do what elders used to do when we
Yeah.
were younger. Like
They used to sit
they used to
outside.
and they
They-
wake up at 6 o'clock, take a shower, put their clothes on, and sit outside on the porch for the entire day.
And the
You
whole
know
of
why?
them was meat.
You know why? Time change. For instance, elders used to be what, 40, 30.
Whoa, whoa,
No.
whoa.
Hold on, listen to what, can I talk? 30, 40 with kids outside playing,
Mhm.
right? Now, kids outside playing, their parents are 22, 24, 25, 20, they're still kids. You know what I mean?
Children raising children.
I'm about to say,
You know what I mean? Like we're not talking about
I think yes and no.
yeah, I'm about to say.
our parents, not their parents.
I know not my parents.
Yeah.
Our parents.
My mom's mom was like in her 20s when my mom was like 16, she was like in her 20s.
That was young for that. Well, your mom, they're a special,
mom's mom.
they're a special case.
Maybe
They're,
there's-
they're a special case.
How
That
come?
didn't happen often. Most of my friends' parents was like older. I'm just talking about me personally when I grew up.
Yeah.
Most of my friends' parents was like 30s, 40s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I had no friends that had like real young parents.
Mhm.
But parents nowadays, they kids at home on a tablet and they in the club.
True, indeed.
You know what I mean? They're not
They're
taking the
not
time out
finished.
to
They're not
You know
finished
what I mean?
growing, and then they
right.
They
That's all I'm
raise
saying.
it, yeah.
Back in the day, you got to a point where you lived your life, you became parents, then you raised your children.
Mhm.
Now we're skipping that. We're skipping that. Raise your life, enjoy your life part.
Mhm.
We're just going from children to having children.
That's what it is. You
Yeah.
got a lot of oopsies.
We're just
That's what happened. You have a whole generation of oops. It's true though, because like honestly, it's like at least I'm in my 20s, and most of my peers are like, "Fuck, I can't have a kid. Dog. I can barely survive myself."
But-
if they end up pregnant with a kid, it's because they passed that 6-week part at that point, and they're just like,
Damn.
and they're just like, "Damn, I can't do nothing else. I gotta have this baby, bro." And they put the kid up for adoption. You know, apparently sometimes you have to pay to put the kid
You
up
do.
for adoption.
Well, let me tell you. I'm gonna tell both of y'all this, right? If y'all ever hear somebody having an oops and they want to put their child up for adoption, they can adopt them to me legally before they go to the adoption agency, because a single male can't go to an adoption agency and
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
yes.
can't get. So if y'all ever hear somebody wanting to put their child up for adoption, I would gladly.
I mean, they don't make it easy for no single female.
You know what I mean?
Y'all ain't got it.
They make it so hard for just one, like a single individual in general. Like they make it hard for single
Like
females.
it's
they make
it's
it
just
hard
it's just
for-
retarded, because I literally, like, while I was there, a gay couple walked out with a child.
Mhm.
Yeah, apparently you just have to. I guess the 2 income. I don't know what it is.
It's not even
They-
the two.
'cause the
It's
women-
not
I'm
even
saying,
two
like,
income.
Like they have single women who can't even. And I don't know, because I've heard. I don't know if it's true, because I've heard this. But I've heard that sometimes they'll even like ask women like, "Oh, well, why can't you have kids? Like, do you have a fertility
Yes.
issue? Like,
Yes.
excuse me, that's so
Because
expensive."
they want you to exhaust all other possibilities
before adopting a kid.
before adopting a child.
Not only that, in their defense, a lot of people do a lot of wrong things.
No, understood.
You know what I mean? So they want to make sure your intentions is to actually raise a child and not
Mhm.
raise a slave or a sex slave, or, you know what I mean? They want to know.
And that's sick that we're in a world like that
But
right
they
now.
still
They-
But
somehow
Yeah.
fuck up every
Yeah.
single
Right.
time. Isn't that so crazy? Because
Right.
the system is so broken.
But they just had a story in Illinois where a lady came and brought her child in for adoption, and she was sold on the black market. The child was sold on the black market.
Like stuff like that happens all the time. I recently saw a story where this girl, she got adopted. Her and her sister got adopted by a lady. Lady had a boyfriend. They were sex trafficking the girls out of their house. Like, and the people would keep coming. CPS would come every other week and check on them, and they wouldn't talk to the
See-
kids. They would talk to the adults only.
But here's the thing. I feel like, in general, people don't take those responsibilities as serious anymore. There are some nurses that sometimes I watch and I'm like, how are you even a nurse? Why are you even a nurse? Because there are people who just don't take that role serious. They just doing it for a paycheck.
Yeah, paycheck.
There's a lot of people that are doing that these days.
You to pay paycheck. That's the biggest. A lot of people with the adoption. A lot of people who go through adoption, especially if they got like mad kids that they adopted, they're doing it for the check.
The checks, yeah.
Most of the time,
Fostering,
because you'll see a lot
fostering.
of situations like, and it's crazy that's even a thing. But you'll see a lot of situations where people they'll adopt a kid from a place and then spend all the money on their biological children, or spoil their biological children
And
leave
give the
child.
hand-me-down.
Like
Mhm.
that's crazy.
Mhm.
That's
But-
crazy.
but
And then people.
The government see, that's why I don't understand. So you'll foster 8 kids to a house in a 3-bedroom house,
Correct.
Mhm.
but you won't give me one.
Listen, the government don't know how to work.
$45,000
That-
just to start the process.
Like make it make sense. You'll give somebody 8, 10 kids, and give them a check every month. You'll pay them to take these kids.
Correct. And they know what kind of household that is.
On top of that couple will already have biological kids on top of
That part. You know what I
On
mean?
top of that.
So they already got kids. They don't got space for these kids that you're giving them, and you paying them for these kids. But I'm telling you, just give me one. I will take care of him. You can come
Just
check.
give one. Just
You
take
can,
one.
yeah, like you can come and check on him. You could like, what is the problem?
That's why so many people nowadays
That's crazy to
they
me.
adopt outside of the states. A
That's-
lot of
that's
people
Yeah,
crazy.
outside of the country
That's why
too.
so many people
But that's-
adopt outside of the
That's so
country.
scary to do right
It's
now.
so
It is.
Not even just right now, but the issue is with adopting outside of the country. A lot of the times, specifically, right? We can talk about like Chinese kids, right? I watched the whole documentary. A lot of times, people just be kidnapping babies that they see on the street
Yeah.
in China,
Yep,
and
and
sending
selling
to
them
adop-
off.
selling them off to
Mhm.
adoption agencies, and now people have Chinese babies. Turns out they were kidnapped.
Yeah.
You know how many videos I see on TikTok? I'll be scrolling and it's like reuniting with my
After
biological
30, 40,
mom
20, 30
after
years.
40 years. And
Yeah.
the mom the entire time was like, girl, like you went outside one day and you were missing. Like we have posters up around this entire province looking for you, and turns out you were just adopted to some white family. Like it
Yeah.
happens often.
All the time.
That's
Same in
crazy.
Africa, they do the same thing. They traffic
Mhm.
these kids as adoption for their payment, for their paycheck.
India too.
It's everywhere. They do it all the
That's
time.
crazy.
All these third world countries. It's
All
the
time.
same.
All the time. All the time. All the time.
It's the same.
It's a damn shame.
We so backwards here.
Let's not talk about it because everybody else talks about how poor
We so backwards here. It just don't make no sense.
U.S. is ass backwards.
It don't make no sense. We'll pay to adopt, like
Foster.
yeah. It just.
Because adopting is a one-time thing. Fostering is the monthly.
Yeah, we
The
do
monthly
that.
stipend.
But when I say I walked in there, I was like, you know what I mean? I was like, I got myself together. I'm doing good. You know what I mean? I ain't got no problem. They looked at me and said, like, I didn't even get too far into nothing. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have a spouse, if you don't have a cohabitating partner, at least they're not even talking to you technically.
Who are you telling?
They're not even talking.
I
to you.
did my research.
It's hard. It's hard for like.
And they're not like us. And then they have salary minimums,
Mhm.
right? Which nobody in this world makes as a single person, right? Then it's all this criteria, which is understood because you want to make sure they're released to somebody who's
Mhm.
in a stable position. But then you have all these stipulations and the amount of money you have to pay to even start the process.
It doesn't make sense though. It just doesn't. Anyway, anybody wanna? Yeah. holla.
Anybody just want to sell me a kid?
Whoa,
I
whoa,
said-
whoa,
Whoa, man.
How you said
Whoa.
it?
Yeah.
How it's coming
Yeah.
from sounds crazy.
Just don't go to adoption agencies. Come to me. I promise you, I'll take better care.
Probably.
I promise you, I will.
I mean, that's unfortunately, we live in a world where, you know, they don't want you to, if you can't carry your child, or if you do not want to have a child because of your circumstances and because of the circumstances of the world, you wish to go with the abortion process. They don't want you to do that. So you decide, they're like, nope, you gotta adopt your kid out. To adopt your kid out, you
It's
gotta
another
go- you
process.
gotta go through the process. And then only to find out your kid was trafficked and murdered 2 years later. Like,
It just don't.
I feel like
Hmm.
the criteria for the people that like legit want to do right by these kids, they make it so hard for people like us to get that done.
But what costs
But-
so much? That's what I want to know. What does it cost? What costs so much?
Nothing. It's greed. It's just them making money. That's all
It
it
don't
is.
make no sense.
It's just
into whatever system.
yeah. It ain't got nothing to do with the
just don't make no
process.
sense because, to be honest with you, it's not even government companies. It's literally private
Private.
companies.
Yeah, they're all
You
private.
know what I mean? These are private companies. So
Mhm.
literally, you're just paying me to transfer a child from them to me.
That's it.
I'm,
It's a transaction.
that's it.
It's
But
all transactions.
It's just a scary world, man. It's a really scary world because also on top of that, like people who, granted, yes, it's a very effed up system, and it's so interesting to me because like as much as these people swear like they're doing all these things, and they put up all these hoops just to protect these kids, most of these kids still end up in very shitty situations, maybe even equivalent to the situation that they were leaving.
And it seems like they do it intentionally. That's what it seems like. It
But
seems
that's
like
what,
they do
that's
it
what I was
intentionally.
saying. Like the people who are deserving of it have a harder time than those who actually are going to harm these kids.
Mhm.
Like they make it so easy for them to gain the accesses,
That's
get all
why
the
It's
paperwork.
better to
get-
find your own adoption. If you want to put your child up
Seriously.
for
I'll
adoption,
say, yeah,
it's better for
honestly,
you to find them yourself.
My grandma,
Like private.
my
Mm.
grandma was adopted. She was adopted. story because it's like freshly her mom, my great grandma was fresh out of slavery, so like it was a lot of weird stuff when it comes to lineage and trying to find them. From what I know, my grandma said her mom sent her out for adoption. The lady I thought that was my great grandma was actually her adopted mother, and the entire time she's like, yeah, girl, you know, they adopted me out, but you know how many homes I had to go through, and before she actually settled, and I got sent back so many times. And then when she got older, she chose to adopt, and the loops that she had to go through to get the kids. And it's even worse because now, like, they're just a special case in my family. They're not chemically there, you know. They're just all a little unbalanced.
I forgot we were live.
Yeah.
It almost came out.
Not there.
We're not doing that again.
They're not there, so it's just like.
Not wrapped too tight.
Y'all do not make this process easy. They don't make this process easy whatsoever.
At all.
The kids have probably been through 5 or 6 homes before they even end up at the home that they're gonna end up staying at until they're 18. Most of the times, kids stay in the adoption system until they age out. And then when they age out, they're just like, all right.
They're in the system now, right? Right.
On your own, the most that they can do is send them to a halfway house.
That's it.
And just be like, all right, see you later. Good luck.
Have a good life.
That's crazy.
That's beyond crazy.
Let me not get started. Let me not get started because
that is beyond crazy. Man, listen.
Because these people president, now he want to start cutting funding for all that. So it's just like it makes so you don't want abortions, right?
Get ready for war.
You don't want abortions, and then we
the way this popcorn tastes,
boy. Put our kids into the adoption system, but now you're gonna cut funding. It's going to that. What do you want? What do you want?
Damned if you do,
just
damned if you don't.
I don't get it. What do you want? What do you want?
He wants to get rid of broke people.
That's not gonna happen because we the majority. Without broke people, he would be broke.
Right. He wants to make broke people slaves.
Without them, without us, he gonna be broke.
Aren't we already?
We could be worse.
Not yet.
We going there.
Yet.
We going there.
Heavy on yet.
We going there. People don't realize everybody he's getting rid of, we just gonna take their spot.
This is the issue.
That's it.
People in this whole situation that's going on, people think that they're immune because I have this much money.
Yeah.
Oh, I do this, or I voted like this.
You don't give a fuck.
Oh, I do this, baby.
Baby.
Your skin's still black. No matter how much money you have, you still a nigga. I'm sorry, but it's true. Like, no matter how much money you have, no matter how many people you surround yourself with, all those people that you surround yourself with who got money, you the black one. So
right.
other people, when shit really hits the fan, and you gotta go, they forcing you to go.
They gonna call you. They gonna call you what they really think of you.
To surrender your assets, and you out there like, guys, what do? I need help. You think they're gonna help you? They're not, because that won't affect them. They're like, oh, buddy, I'm gonna take a step back.
That's the only thing I think that would cause the Civil War immediately. The minute they let the part of civilization that's colored realize, like, hey, you still black. You might be black with a couple coins.
Yeah.
Right.
But you still black.
With a couple coins.
So when that day come and we send you over there with them black folks, don't be surprised. When they realize that, that's when shit gonna get real.
Yeah, they don't care when it's happening to other people.
Because right now they feel like it's not a color thing. They feel like it's a broke and rich thing.
Right.
And that's why Trump is winning so much right now, because he's against blacks.
He's against all the marginalized
He's against
communities.
broke. He's against minority. And people are trying to take themselves out of that equation.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, your coins don't make you nothing else but black if you black.
Right.
You feel me?
You're black with money. Like,
That's it. That's it.
You're Hispanic with money.
Your skin
You're
is what's gonna count first.
You know what I mean? And if they're not showing it by putting people like Diddy and people like R. Kelly and Jay-Z, if they're going after people like that,
sorry.
Who have the money?
I'm gonna hit you. We gonna come right back to the beginning of this whole conversation, the whole pedophile thing.
Because you just went through 3 of them.
Motherfuckers deserve to go down. And I'm gonna stand on this. I truly hate, despise how the black community stands behind these people just because they're black and rich.
No. Listen. Listen, no.
No.
I don't stand behind R. Kelly, Jay-Z, Diddy, no artists. Because guess what? If Diddy see me in the mall tomorrow, he's gonna walk right the fuck by me.
I don't care about you.
You
We
know
don't
what I
know
mean?
shit about you.
They don't know about me. However, I grew up on music.
Yeah, of course.
I grew up on their music.
Their music
Okay?
fucked up.
Because so I still listen to their music. Do I know anything about them besides their music? Besides the
Their
couple
music.
children that they slept with? No, I don't.
Ain't nobody care about. Okay, I'm not talking about that, right? Me, I don't care. Listen, the black community, they're very big on like, oh, I didn't say you could stop. His music not locked up. I do not care.
Lock his ass up. If he
Nobody
slept with a
cares.
child, lock him up.
Lock him up.
If he
Right.
You know how many people were protesting the R. Kelly trial because they were like, guys, no, y'all just want to take a successful black man down. It's like, look at this man recorded it. He recorded himself
Right.
on somebody, and y'all are saying he was.
Did he record it? There's a recording of Diddy beating the
y'all
piss
are
off of
supposed to see a
Cassie.
successful black
Like,
man come down.
What are we talking
No,
about?
we just don't want him to be the poster child for what a successful black man's supposed to be because that's not the best
Exactly.
example. He's shit. And people just don't want that to be removed because they idolize these people because they're like, oh my God, yeah, when I was young, Diddy was doing this and that, and that was so cool to me. And I'm like, okay, cool,
Listen.
nigga, get over it. He's old, you're old, he needs to go to he will touch your kids if he's still out. Leave like him to jail.
This was my point.
Oh
People
my
don't
gosh.
care about that.
Oh God.
You
Right.
know what I mean? People do not care about that. That's why I said the economy is going to shit because financially we're going to shits. People are shit when they broke.
Yeah.
And money, unfortunately,
Talks.
changes a lot of people. If you give your worst enemy $1 million, he might not even be an asshole no more. A lot of people are assholes just because they're broke and
Yeah,
struggling
because
and
they're
stressed.
struggling. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Some of the sweetest people are assholes right now just because of the stress they're under with bills and
trying
financial.
to maintain,
They're just trying to live, trying to survive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Trying to
So
survive.
money is a lot. So money like Diddy money and money like Jay-Z money is why they was able to do that for so many years. Because they didn't just start doing this shit. They've been doing it. People
Right.
knew about it.
Right.
There've been videos.
They knew about it.
You know what I mean? People
Wait,
knew about
hold
it.
on. Who was it that wanted to start or did start a whole black rich porn site? One of them in that circle, yeah.
It was
There's a whole.
Kanye.
Was it Kanye?
Kanye recently. I mean, he just recently. Something recently came out with like I think Kanye's assistant was talking about he wants to make a porn site for like
Strictly the elite.
which
The
is
elite
just,
of the
like,
elites.
fucking
He wants to make a
weirdos.
legal one. There's already one.
But that's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. So this shit has been happening. It's just
Yes.
now coming to the surface.
Diddy's parties have some of the richest people in the
Damn
world
right.
in
Of
attendance.
all shades.
You know what I
Not
mean?
just black, white,
Of
like,
all, and they knew about this.
and they
shit.
all partook.
They knew about this.
Everybody.
You know what I mean? But again, society just likes to say stuff because it sounds good. Like they don't have a problem with it. They only have a problem with it if it's affecting them at the moment. Because next week they're not gonna have a problem with it either. Same
Right.
thing with the whole Walmart and Publix bull crap.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That lasted 10 seconds.
It's just something a wave. It's a wave. And
Yeah.
people just gonna follow the wave until it crashes.
And where the wave come from? Not social media?
I'm sorry. I don't know. I just think that the black community loves to stand behind, deserve it. And granted, I get it. You know, you're sentimental. You like the music. You got his record.
But music ain't got shit to do with
He signed
it.
it. He licked that shit. You know.
They're not
happy that you
standing
got that
behind
record.
him. They're standing behind the money.
And that's the craziest point. That's the craziest part. I'm just dumbfounded. That's all it is.
They're
I'm
standing
dumbfounded.
behind the money because you got to understand if somebody like Diddy goes down,
No, I'm sorry.
you know how much people stop getting paid?
No, yes, I'm talking
Yeah.
about like the general public.
You
though.
feel me?
I'm
Yeah.
talking about the general public. I'm not really talking about like his association.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
people
like-
in the
like,
association.
yeah.
Because the general public, they can't really stand behind the money if the money not going to them, as well as they stand
The money
behind their
he
fucking.
has.
But what I'm saying is they're standing behind their family members who do the same shit. So I'm talking about just the issue
Mm.
in general. I'm not talking about I'm talking about the issue in general.
But people really don't have a problem with it. That's just like abuse. People don't really have a problem with domestic violence. and
Until it happens to you.
they still don't have a problem with it. 'Cause I
Well-
know a lot of people that got punched in
well,
the face and still in the relationship.
Shut up, Daryl.
Like I hate when we act, like stop shit. If we gonna
Daryl,
talk, listen.
Daryl,
If we gonna talk high talk, real talk, we gonna talk high talk, real talk. Because what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna sugarcoat shit.
We here again?
Like we
came
don't
back?
know. Like people have no issues with shit.
And deeply in love,
And
mind you.
you know what I mean?
Just had a
Right.
whole situation.
People
and
don't have,
deeply
people
in
don't
love.
really have problems with situations. They just talk about it because that's what everybody else talks about. It's just society. People don't have problems with domestic violence. People don't have problems with being cheated on. People don't have problems with sleeping with husbands, sleeping with wives. People don't have. A lot of people don't. You know why people don't? Because they do it. They do it. They do it. They do it. There's somebody sleeping with somebody's wife right now. Somebody just got punched in the face last night and still with their man right now.
I cannot
Like-
do this today.
Like, come on, man. Like,
No, it's true though. I feel like
it is.
outside of just as a disclaimer, outside of the situation in which, let's say, that partner is holding them hostage or anything like that.
Right.
Putting that out there.
Well, I don't know nobody that's been held hostage.
voluntarily.
Yeah,
This is
I'm not saying if they are
voluntary.
voluntarily, consensually.
This
staying with
is
that person, then they have
voluntary.
an active way out of that situation.
Right. We are
That's
not
what we're referring to.
condoning.
Not a situation in which the man is like, I'm gonna kill myself, like type
Right,
shit, or he's gonna
right.
murder you and find you type shit. That's what we're getting at.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about dummies that get punched in their face and stay with him tomorrow, give him some 90 the next day. We're talking about that with their wife, supposedly happy, and then sleeping with somebody else's wife the next day. We talking about people that just
That's like 90% of the Caribbean.
whoa.
Woo.
I'm sorry.
Whew.
I'm sorry.
Is it time for commercial?
No.
No.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Check, please.
I'm just saying.
Whew.
They sleep with their wife, she barefoot and pregnant at home, and then he go to his next wife who barefoot and pregnant with twins.
Whoa.
Am I wrong?
Whoa.
I'm sorry. Am I wrong? That's like all of our grandparents, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Am I wrong?
I never been so ashamed to lift my hat
I'm
up.
just saying, like is that not like that's like the majority of the Caribbean community. We talk about that
This
shit all
is
the time.
bad. I'm trying
Hey.
to sell the Caribbean community right now.
Listen.
We're not doing a good job.
I'm talking about this shit.
We are so ass backwards.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're just so desensitized because their grandparents got 70 kids outside and inside the marriage. I don't know what it is, but these people, they are so quick. Their man cheats on them like 6 times and they're still staying with them. They'll complain to their friends, like, girl, I can't do this no more. I can't do this man.
Next
please
thing
stop."
you know, the
Next
next
thing you know,
day.
she's pregnant again.
So, oh boy. Whew,
You
all
was
right.
waiting for this segue.
Next kid.
All right.
You was waiting for this
Pregnant
segue.
again.
Caribbean people, right? Let me tell you why. We are
Why what?
overly sexualized relationships. And I feel like that's the biggest problem with Caribbean communities. Most relationships, 75% of Caribbean relationships is sexual. If they're not sexually pleased, it's just
Romantic relationships, putting it out there.
no romantic relationships, because half of these is getting bull with no date, no,
Jesus, Lord,
no
have
dinner.
mercy.
you know, like it's just overly sexual. Like,
We got Bulla Cake share, no?
but seriously, like for instance, if I meet a Caribbean female and we go on a date,
Mhm.
I'm
Oh, you ain't get cussed in a long time, huh?
I'm just saying, you said overly sexual. I don't know. Have
Hold on, wait. I wanna,
Caribbean people not overly sexual?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it. Who are you putting in comparison to? Because I'm half American. You got sexy rap. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, you got it's mainstream sexuality. So I'm not gonna say like you can't just leave it on Caribbean. Like, who are you?
Right,
in
but that's
comparison to?
that's talking music.
Who are you in comparison to? 'Cause like I said, you can say you're talking music. Who are you comparing the Caribbean community to?
I still think
Instead
we-
of overly sexual. Think about it. Who?
She got you there, bro.
Nah, yo, I still don't think Americans is.
I'm asking
I think Caribbean is
I'm
worse.
letting you know this now.
No, I
because
think
my-
Caribbean-
I don't know. I
I
honestly.
think Caribbean is
My
worse.
American uncle,
Oh
you
God.
would think he was Jamaican.
I think the Caribbean people are worse. I'm sorry.
They go neck and neck with a lot of people.
I feel like
sorry.
it is a neck and neck
I'm
type
about
of
to say,
thing.
I have to
Maybe
know
back in the day.
I'm about to say, who is the standard to which you are comparing them to be overly sexual? Because there has to be some type of standard or line that makes you.
I'm just talking about period, like an American event and a Caribbean event.
American.
American.
An event is different. Like you're saying events, like an event, like what?
A party and a party.
Okay. Is a party, or you can say like, because you say Caribbean are overly sexual, so I'm thinking like an orgy.
Okay. Listen. I don't know.
I'm saying like you gotta.
I've never been to a public orgy. I don't even know. Am I that old?
Let me tell you.
Am I that old?
There are-
Woodstock?
I will tell you something.
I've never-
Woodstock.
I will tell you something.
Public.
One time,
Woodstock.
Americans are disgusting. People
Woodstock.
outside the Caribbean are equally as overly sexual. Do you know what cruising is? You don't? Don't ask. Americans do it. So don't try to say that we are
Is
not.
that where they turn the pineapple upside down?
No, that's when they like in the forest. They just meet. They have random spots.
Okay, never mind. Pause.
And
So you
just
will-
go there. You just go there.
Think about it, Woodstock.
Ah.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like what is the? I'm not gonna say that creepy. No, you're correct though. We do. I get it.
We are very much.
But I cannot say it's more than a large amount of people. Other
All right.
demographics
So how do I
in the world.
put it? Because I still feel like we're more openly with it. Like
What I would say, me personally, I see it on a sense of how that situation. I see it on the sense of pride, in the sense of, hear me out. A lot of times, the reason when a man, let's say average Caribbean man, he has like another woman on the side, 3 kids with her, has the next one in St. Lucia.
I can only drive one at a time.
He got an ease, by the way, so he got a kid in Trinidad.
Well, damn.
2 kids in Grenada, one in St. Lucia, right? And his wife is in Guyana, right? But the wife is not going to leave him. Not because it's an overly sexual relationship, not because of any of that. It's because of her pride and because she doesn't want to be embarrassed. She doesn't want to be looked at by her community as, oh, well, you're she.
Not only that. Hold on, wait.
I'm
Not
not
only
even
that.
talking about
Not
in that
only
sense.
that though. Not only that.
That's how I see it.
Oh.
That's how I see it in that like perspective.
I have to agree with you on that because it's like I sometimes wonder, like looking back at our elders,
Mhm.
right, and the shit that they put up with that we know we wouldn't put up with now,
Mhm.
and it's like, why did they do that?
Pride.
Because they were no, it wasn't even pride. Most women were taught you don't leave your man for nothing.
Well, right. It's talk too.
So no matter what he do,
Mhm.
he could bust your
Right.
head
And
open.
you're not supposed to.
You not going
You're
nowhere.
not supposed to leave him. You try to come back home after he busts your
Listen,
head, they send
listen.
you right back to the man.
I am just talking about how when I say openly sexual, I'm talking about like how you could go to a fete
Mm.
and a female
And
would be
wine
like,
put something on
not
that,
even
then
wine
put-
nothing
oh.
yet. A female would just see a male and be like, "I bullet," or
I really hate
Like-
how honestly.
and that's what I mean. If I go to America, like a Caribbean female will just yoke you and grab you by your balls and pull you for a wine.
I mean,
That's not gonna happen like
It's not-
that.
I'm about to say that.
They might tap you.
no.
He's trying. It's not like
You're
that.
reaching.
I'm about to say,
You're
no,
reaching.
You know what?
'Cause you damn sure know.
Real hood girls gonna come to you. I like you, daddy. Come here. Yank. Like, come on. Like, you gotta be real.
But it's gonna happen at any Caribbean fest.
It's gonna happen.
It's
at
any
fest.
No,
Bro,
no.
It's gonna happen at the
bro,
hotel.
if you go to the beachum on a Saturday
Yeah,
night,
you won't catch me there.
So, let's see.
You won't,
It happens. So it happens. You
Right.
Go into the
you won't catch me
It
there.
happens. You just don't be going there. That's it. It happens. You can't say
it don't happen to the
Right.
places at the places where you might frequent,
Right.
because most of the places you frequent is probably
Start-
Caribbean
Start
places.
frequenting the places that you know.
All right, so let me change this. If I go to an upscale Caribbean event and an upscale American event, it's 2 different events.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still gonna get that at an upscale Caribbean event.
you're still gonna get groped.
Am I? Am I? Probably more by them older ones.
The oldest.
Yeah, them elders, right? Them elders over
Probably
there.
more.
Hold up. Now, if you say older, if you don't say older, you will find a big black
Probably
American
more.
grandmama, old white booty, come right up to you. It's like, oh,
Wide
how
booty
you
though?
doing? How you doing, sweet thing? They gonna be in your ears.
You facts.
That's
It is a
what I'm
Well,
saying.
fact,
let me tell you
bro.
something. In my experience, the Caribbean community
We
is
dirty. We
definitely
stink
way
and dirty,
way
bro.
more aggressive
Your experience.
and openly sexual than the American. And I've worked all kind of American events.
Freaknik.
I've worked all kind of
BCR.
American
I
events.
would just say freaknik.
BCR.
I've worked. You know, I've worked all these events, and I'm not saying things haven't happened,
They do.
but
They will.
They'll have more in Caribbean events. Yeah, no.
and that's all I'm saying. As a man, I'm just.
I don't know.
It might be the same thing for
What-
y'all
what-
as a
what-
female.
What is the Caribbean?
No, listen, we getting abused no matter what.
is
Where
the
That's
we
what I'm
go.
Caribbean-
saying. Y'all
what is
might-
the Caribbean equivalent of freaknik?
What is the Caribbean? A Juve.
No. Like it.
A Juve. I
Like
promise
Nani's
you.
Out, Nani's out.
I-
people eating
Juve.
Nani- People eating National on the
Carnival on
Listen,
Eastern Parkway.
listen,
How
listen.
much
National
man?
Street.
See, the
Wait.
problem is,
How
National
much?
Street.
no, the
how
problem
much
is that I just had
man
cameras
says-
for Freaknik. That's it.
No. How How much man got found putting a face and some girl body with a G-string on in
Eating
a
ass.
carnival
Eating ass on the road.
costume
On the road.
on the road?
Ass in the mouth.
I'm gonna say maybe they just neck and neck.
Sweaty ass in the mouth.
Nasty,
Honestly,
dirty,
you know what?
stinking
You know what
ass.
it is?
Sweaty, dirty, stinking heat.
I cannot say that they
Ass.
are more sexual than Americans, only because I think it's just the diaspora at this point. Because I think we all just got you.
Nah,
Black Americans are horrible. Caribbean Americans are horrendous.
Right. You see how you just said it? I agree.
No, but
I agree. I agree. But what is Caribbean people?
Horrendous.
Right. I agree.
I would say everybody.
No brought up see
At
at
all.
all.
All of them.
At
All of them.
all.
All of them.
We ain't got no brought
Nah.
up see at all.
Nah. That's just like for me. I know.
Why?
I know. Like Rush. You ever been with a Russian person?
Hell no.
Yeah.
You ever been with a Russian person?
Wow, what
Let me
was
tell you
that?
something,
No.
right? Black people, Caribbean people, whoever else you want to name, can't be as sexual
No,
as a Russian.
You can't out-freak a Russian. You could never out-freak a Russian.
You
I've
hear me?
seen it on TV.
A C. A C. Like.
Okay, all right.
Oh my
Pause.
God. Oh my
Stick
God.
up it.
Oh. I wasn't going. I wasn't going there. I wasn't going there. I wasn't.
Yo, I can't deal with. I can't.
I'm just saying.
Nah.
They have the Russian carnivals where they do all those flips.
But yeah, you can't.
Check, please.
You can't out freak.
Can I quit the show?
You can't.
There's a lot of people that you can't out-freak.
You
I'm just saying. You got.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
you can't out freak a Russian.
Okay.
Yeah. They yeah.
That sounds personal.
Yeah. They're yeah.
I'm Slavics.
Yeah, they very openly,
Wow.
yeah. Yeah.
So back to what we were saying.
Yeah.
We Caribbean people have issues.
You know, every community has their issues. You know what? As much as we're having this conversation, there's probably somebody else on the other side of the world just like, yeah, our people are just so disgusting.
Oh, definitely.
Y'all comment.
Definitely.
Like, we're curious.
Definitely.
Comment where you from and if you agree and
You know what's
disagree.
crazy? People that's from the place talk about them the most. Like, for instance, Trinity people talk about Trinity the most. Jamaicans talk about Jamaicans the most. VI
Facts.
talk about VI the most.
All the time.
Indians talk about Indians the most.
Sir. Guyanese, not Indians, because there's Indians everywhere.
I'm not just talking about Guyanese. I'm talking about Indians.
You be Indian.
Of the Indian descent.
You know, Indian.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
You could be Indian American. You could be West Indian.
They damn sure do talk about each other.
But people talk about themselves the most because you're gonna talk about your environment.
It's
That's,
who you know. It's
you
what
know
you
what I
Yeah,
mean? Right.
exactly.
You're gonna talk about what you're surrounded by. That's why
educated on.
most of the times when I talk, I refer to the Caribbean community. Not to say
same. That
I'm
way,
not-
nobody
yeah,
else.
I'm not
but we
talking
know
down
what
on
we
a
know.
community or I'm
Yeah.
not raising up the community. I'm just talking about the community that I surround myself with.
Right.
So
And that we
unfortunately,
knew.
that's
That
who
we
I have
know.
to
He said, unfortunate.
You know what I mean?
Unfortunate.
intend it all. But yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
Caribbean people, we love Caribbean people. We just have our own issues within our
Our
Caribbean
community.
people. That's
Mhm.
it.
big issues.
Yeah, we ain't
I
shit.
mean, but think about it. I actually, there's been, a couple of times that I always say that people are actually happy that we do this podcast because we talk about those things live in the flesh that, always talks about behind closed doors, but ain't nobody want to talk about it publicly.
You know one thing about this show though? One thing about High Talk, Real Talk, it has made me minimize my circle
Your interactions?
by the month.
Oh, yeah.
Like after that episode we had on accountability,
Mm.
it's like, well, damn. Who
The people who can hold themselves accountable are the ones that are still around.
who do I talk to?
Hmm.
Who do I talk to?
Hey man, I learned that from a young age. You know,
Mm.
I only got like 3 friends now. I learned that shit from I learned that shit from like 13.
I wish I
You
did.
are only like 15. Calm down.
People are vicious.
Like,
man.
I
Growing
would-
up in
yeah.
my generation, like kids were vicious.
And it only got worse.
It wasn't even like on the scale. I feel like, because I feel like in y'all generation, y'all have bullies that would be like, yeah, like beating you up and shit, and like we didn't have that. We had people that were like, kill yourself online.
Yeah,
And sending
yeah.
you, like, videos of Al Qaeda cutting people's head off and like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
finding your address.
You guys' level of
like,
bullying
shit
was
is
way
evil.
different than
Like, shit
ours.
is evil.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
right.
even now, like you hear about these young kids getting bullied in school, and they're literally
It's my son. It's my son. Sorry. Live, I have to wait. It's my child. Hello?
Hi.
You good? Yeah, I'm filming you, all right?
Hi, nephew.
All right. No, I'm good, homie. I'll call you when I'm leaving here, all right? All right, good.
Bye.
I do want to say, bullying is extremely severe in the young generations because they're creative.
It's sad.
And it lets you know how many sociopaths, how many crazy kids.
I
people are
swear.
raising. And this is why I actively think that sometimes when your kid acts out to a certain degree, you need to take it to a psychiatrist, not a therapist, to a psychiatrist.
So let me ask you a
Some of these
question.
kids be like, actually, like you might be Ted Bundy when you grow up.
So you don't feel like kids that get bullied is lack of parenting and lack of encouragement, and
Lack of love.
build,
I got bullied.
Love.
lack of
I got
love.
bullied too.
I don't think it wasn't even a lack of anything.
Shit, I got jumped.
My mom definitely
Couple
was the
times.
type of girl, like if she heard someone bullying me, she'd get on the school bus to find out which kid find a parent and fight the parent.
But
Like,
see, that doesn't help.
But what I'm saying is like my bullying did not come from me like having anything missing at home. It was because of the personality I had. I was just into really like nerdy shit. So kids just picked on it. My mom would encourage me on the shit that I liked, so I would stand 10 toes down on my shit that I liked. However, it still didn't stop kids from acting like complete assholes. You know, it's not gonna stop kids from, even if I know who I am, it's not gonna stop these kids from doing what they gotta do. My mom could come up to the school, she could do this, she could do that, but nothing's gonna happen once the school takes action. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you can still be a very solid person in yourself. Like if you're very solid, you're very confident in yourself, that's fine. Your parents are building you up every day, but they can build you up. But when you go to school, them kids are breaking you down.
Yeah.
You go back.
So
home,
let me ask you-
trying to build you back up.
Let me ask y'all a question. So because I feel like all kids get bullied in some way. It's just
Mhm.
it just depends on what do you consider bullying.
Right.
Because anything that you're not in line with the regular society, and like if you like violin or if you like piano or outside of what, you know what I mean, they're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
So I don't consider everything bullying. Like to me, if it's not physical, well, not even just physical, because now bullying is way
Now
beyond
it's
that.
more verbal.
But yeah, like because
And
people are gonna make. I
emotional.
don't want to say what you went through was not bullying because I don't know what you went through. But if people are just making fun of you because you have good grades or stuff like that, I don't consider it bullying. And I feel like that's where society has went to now. As soon as you insult another child, they call parents and call it bullying. And me personally, I don't think that's bullying. Not saying it's right.
Right. Well, that's not bullying at all. They don't consider like a kid making a jab at another kid bullying.
They
That's
do
not-
now. They do.
No,
I
it's
promise.
not.
I promise you, they do.
Bullying is something that happens consistently
Right.
for a long period of time.
Right. So if you're a
If
smart
there's
kid,
child actively, constantly like talking to your kid, like talking shit nonstop, and the teacher hasn't intervened and gotten to the point where the teacher's like, "Yo, I tried to talk to your kid, but your kid's ruthless." At that point, it's a behavioral problem with the child. It might not be considered bullying, but it's a behavior.
yeah,
problem.
definitely, definitely. That's what I'm saying.
So they're going to still call the parents because your kid's just acting out. It's making a distraction.
Yeah, but that's
in
not
class.
bullying. I don't like the word bullying because if
Bullying
you're
is
bullying my
like
child, I want to beat
Anything
you.
that causes a child mental or
Correct.
physical
Harm.
that
Mhm.
could lead them to cause harm on themselves,
Right.
self-inflicted harm, I consider to be bullying.
I agree.
I don't.
No,
because
because-
some kids are just overly sensitive. It could be something that's not even that serious, and you're just taking it too much.
What do you consider to be overly sensitive?
Like for instance, if kids make fun of how you dress, and it's your drip, and they make fun of how you dress, but that's how you like to dress. It's not bullying. You just like to dress, and they find it funny. Is that bullying?
It
So
is.
people finding something funny is not. I don't think.
I don't find that bullying.
I feel like
You could say they might be picking on him, but to me, bullying is getting washed down to where the kids that's really getting bullying is not being protected because we're calling everything bullying now. And there's kids out there that's really getting life-threatening, mentally f***ed up bullying, and then we're calling it bullying for he's picking on how you dress.
The issue is the reason why they address it at that stage is because it's a stage of bullying. That starts at the beginning. People don't just straight up walk up to you and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna kill you today."
Right,
Like,
right. It's progressive.
It starts by picking. If teachers are gonna notice, like, okay, a lot of times, like for me, teachers didn't do shit because they were just like, "Oh, they're just kikiing, like that's
They're just
banter.
kids.
They're kids, like they're just gonna do that." It didn't get to a point until I tried to kill myself.
Right.
It did not get to a point until I tried to actually harm myself because of what people were saying and doing actively. So the thing is, like, at the beginning, you're not going to say it's bullying. You're like, oh, they're just making fun. They're making fun. But then little do you know, because the thing is, teachers can't see what's going on online, especially nowadays. Teachers can't see if these kids are now, actively saying something behind, like, to the child at home. They can't see if the kid's pulling up to the kid's house. Like, you don't know what's happening outside of school. So if you see a certain behavior happening in school, teachers are trained to, like, maybe I should sit these kids down for counseling to talk to each other before it becomes a situation where now we have a memorial for this child because they killed themselves and I didn't address it when it started. It could not, I understand, like, you're like, oh, that's not bullying, because it's not to a point where anybody is actively getting harmed. Because it's just like, oh, you just need to stop being so sensitive.
Right.
But
no, I'm not saying a meeting doesn't need to be had. I'm not saying parents don't need to be called. I'm not saying discipline don't need to be done. What I'm saying is every time a parent gets called, shouldn't be labeled as bullying. If a child has behavioral issues, call it that. If a child is disrupting the class,
but they do.
Everything they call bullying now.
No, they don't.
I'm
I will
telling
let you
you.
know because no, they don't.
I went to school 5 times last year for a child, not mine, but 5 times for a child last year. And everything was bullying. Everything was bullying. And one of the times was because he was making fun of a kid during chorus. He was making fun of a kid during chorus because the kid sounded like a chipmunk. And they said it was bullying.
That is bullying.
Come the hell on.
Like I said, it quite literally depends on the situation because also, say that.
Say you disrupting the class.
As a parent, you don't know the full extent of it. They're going to tell you what
their versions.
A lot of schools will tell you their version because they do not want to be held accountable. That is a very big thing too. Because I be seeing things all the time and people are like, oh, why is it that I'm learning from my child that this happened and the school just, they didn't say shit to me.
They try to brush it under the rug.
Yep. They try to brush it because they get in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's just what you know. That's the extent. If your kid's the one that they're getting in trouble or calling, the kid is not going to tell you the full extent.
Nah.
They were looking at
it wasn't even my kid.
But what I'm saying is if their kid,
you'll never get the true story,
right,
the full extent of the story, right?
Unless you're actively there and you see some cameras, or maybe you're speaking to the teacher.
A witness or somebody.
A lot of times they won't even have you speak directly to the teacher. They'll have the faculty.
Right.
Like the one who like waters it down.
Right.
To the
Right. Exactly.
They have somebody, like it's usually the faculty or like a dean, a counselor, somebody to talk to you because they've already kind of resolved it on their end. So they're going to tell you what, they were just making fun of each other.
The Peachy Keen
nice,
version. Right.
Like you're not, like, that's the issue.
I'm just saying, but reason why I'm saying that is because when you call a parent, you feel me? When you call a parent and say, hey, your child is being bullied, when you say that, you already ignite a fire
Absolutely.
in this parent.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? For instance, if you call me and tell me my child is being bullied, I'm coming to school on another level.
Yeah, absolutely.
You understand? So if my child is having a disruption in class or a behavioral problem, tell me that. You know what I mean? So this way I know I got to deal with him, but I don't think I got to, you know what I mean? Because being bullied and having a behavioral problem in class or disrupting class is 2 completely different things.
Absolutely.
And that's all I'm saying. They should label it as such.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Unfortunately, they have to label it based off of the law. So
Yeah.
Because we do have a law in Florida that makes bullying illegal. So some of the parents can actually get prosecuted if your child is doing severe.
So what's going to happen if the parent
severe
was to
bullying.
get a call saying bullied and then comes to the school and sees the child or sees the child that their child been saying was bullying them and out of anger just does something? Then what? Now what are we going to say?
If the parent does something, then they're going to jail.
Exactly, but this is what I'm saying. You just told them their child's getting bullied. Their child been complaining about this child bullying them. They come to school and see them and...
But also, I personally am not going to act out. That's the first instance that I'm hearing it because I'm going to talk to my child first. Me personally, I would speak to my child first and be like, yo, what's going on?
For some reason, I think you feel like everybody in this world is level-headed.
No, I mean, that's just...
I'm glad I had it in my head.
Like,
I was like,
because...
if only.
If I hear about it, I'm ignoring the faculty. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll get to y'all in a bit. What's going on? That's my mentality.
I hear that's what you think your mentality might be while you don't have a...
I'm not as... I I don't lash out because I think before I do things.
I understand that, but having a child is a different story. And although you may think you know what you'll do when you have a child, you don't have one yet.
You're right.
And when you have a child, it's
a
a whole
different-
nother feeling. And
Absolutely. I
if
get
your
it.
child comes to you already crying and complaining about being bullied, and then you get a
That's
call,
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
you get a call from the
Child comes to me.
principal, and the principal says, hey, we need you to come to school, your child is being bullied, or anything of that manner. Your emotions is just going to
Absolutely.
erupt.
If my child is coming to me crying the first time, even before the school calling me, that's an issue. I'm not saying that I'm not going to erupt. What I'm saying is I'm going to listen to my child first before I turn. Because if my child did not come to me prior to the situation happening, and this is the very first time my child never.
Well,
had
that's
an
different.
incident,
That's
what I'm
different.
saying.
That's
though.
different.
I'm assuming my child would come to me first.
Right.
And that's.
But let's say,
that's
all
what
right,
I'm
let's say
saying.
your
If it's
child
the
comes
first
to you.
time, I'm going to my child. The first time this has happened, my child's never come to
But
me.
what
I'm
if your
going to
child
my
does
kid,
come
what
to
the
you?
hell's
What if your
going
child
on?
comes to you, you call the school, you make an appointment to go
I'm
to
saying
school?
the child, that's what's about to happen.
Right, but while you're waiting for your appointment, you get a phone call saying that this is happening right now. Your child is being bullied, and your child already spoke to you about it.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
Pulling up to the school. Me, listen, I'm not going now. Me, I'm just not a violent person in general. That's just how I move. I've never been a person to like actively be violent unless someone is violent towards me.
Or your child.
Right? Maybe. Who knows? Right? I don't have a kid yet. Right? So who knows? Maybe I won't be. Maybe I will.
I mean,
I have a feeling you will.
I'm almost positive, guaranteeing.
I'm gonna be so real with you. I feel like I definitely will not be, only for the mere fact that my mom was, and it traumatized me as a child. Like, so I don't think, like, severely traumatized me as a child to the point where I could never see. Like, I would have to be with my partner. My partner would be the one who's like in for confrontation. Like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to our baby. You handle that shit. Whoop they ass. I'm rooting for you, but I'm not the person. Like, I actively do not want to be in that confrontation because of how.
But
I was
understand
raised.
what I'm telling you. As parents, none of us want to be in that confrontation.
Mhm.
None of us want to see our children hurt, because the main reason why is because if we see somebody intentionally hurt our child, what's going to happen?
Right.
It's not that none of us, well, I'm not saying none of us, because, yeah, but some people are not naturally aggressive, but
Right.
if you touch their cub, you're going to see a whole nother being.
Yeah, I get it.
And that's all
If
I'm
somebody
saying.
touch OEOEO,
You know what I
get
mean?
it.
That,
I
that,
get it.
that's all I'm saying. So the way you call a parent has a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? It's saying bully because
your words, your
you know what I
choice
mean?
of words.
Like,
yeah.
I have family that you call them like that. They're calling the family, and we're coming.
Yeah.
We're coming.
Like I said, specifically Florida is very different when it comes to those things because they have bullying laws and because they have to, quite literally, the school has to report it as something under the law. So, like, if it's something like specific, I forgot the actual definition, and both my phones are being used, so I can't search it up. But they have like a whole law in reference to bullying, so the school has no choice but to report it as such because of the law.
So
So I don't know the specifics of it because I don't have my information up right now. I don't know if I want to look it up.
so
I'm doing it.
question for y'all.
I'll look it up.
What about adult bullying?
It happens.
Oh, I know what happens.
Yeah.
How do y'all feel about it?
I think it's crazy. Y'all grown as hell and y'all still acting like that?
Wait,
Crazy.
what is all this y'all stuff?
This is what I'm trying to understand.
I'm not talking about you. Like, I'm not talking about you.
Like-
specifically, but I'm saying,
Like, word.
If you are a bully as an adult, like, you really?
But there's a lot of people out here that are bullies as adults.
Yeah, I know. And I'm really?
So I was
You fucking weirdo.
I was watching a podcast, right? And dude said females that put dudes in the friend zone are bullies. Do y'all agree with that?
I'm sorry, I was reading this bullying act. Say
I don't
again.
know. Do you agree with it?
Females.
Based off of how-
No, because I know why he said that. That's
See-
why I want to see what y'all say.
I didn't know the
Say it again.
He said females, like, if you have a dude that likes you, right?
Okay.
And you know he likes you, you know he wants to be with you know he wants to smash, but you just let it know that's not happening, and you friend zone him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Now he's your friend that you go on little dates with. He take you out to dinner and stuff like that. What they were saying on the podcast is that if you a female and you got a dude like that and you put him in the friend zone, you're a bully.
How are you? Okay, I think it depends on how you do such a thing. Because if you actually sit down as an adult
And have a conversation?
and you're like, "Hey, friend,
Right.
listen, I'm gonna set my boundary, this and that." Like, you have a realistic conversation. If you're calling that a bully, that's kind of strange. Because that's kind of strange. But if it's like somebody who's like, "Oh no, I know he liked me, but I want to do this and that, and I'm gonna take advantage," that's different.
What you got to say? It's burning a
I
hole
think-
in my
I think
chest.
It depends on how you go about the situation. Because if you're actively like, you know, this person has a crush on you and you take advantage of their situation,
Right. Right.
That's you're practically saying, give me your lunch money. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
but if you're somebody who sits down and you're like, hey, just so you know, I do not have those feelings. I'm going to talk to you as an adult. Like, we should not be continuing this type of relationship anymore. You're just my
Yo,
friend.
he's sweating over here.
Yeah, I mean, hey, what do you think?
He's sweating over here trying to hold that in.
What do you think?
Speak.
I just find it funny because the whole adult conversation stuff, right? Okay, so have you never had an adult conversation with males and they didn't listen, or they didn't study you, or they did the complete opposite? Or
All the time.
Well, I'm about to say, I mean,
Then you
So-
remove yourself
I
from the
have surrounded
situation.
myself with, they have respected my boundaries.
Well, I'm not
I
saying
mean,
like,
when it comes to
well, I'm
my
not talking about
friends,
like that. Yeah.
When I talk to them, like if
Mm.
I've had a guy friend, I've had that, like I've talked to them and we've had that conversation. They were probably my guy friend because they were easy to talk to, and they probably have that mentality to where we can't have that adult conversation. I mean, I know people though who they say that, and the dudes will still persist, and at that point,
You gotta
dog, like,
remove-
I already
yeah.
talked to
So
you.
y'all never put a dude in the friend zone that y'all know still wanted y'all, like, and still been friends with them.
Not still been friends with them. No, I distanced myself on purpose.
I want
I distanced
this
myself.
young lady next to me to say no.
So I actively distance myself because I feel uncomfortable myself.
Did I say any goddamn thing?
Okay.
I feel
Oh,
uncomfortable myself. I can't. I feel uncomfortable because then it's just like I couldn't even hang out with you no more as like a friend because now you're just like licking your lips and shit. Like I feel weird. Like
Because
I
that's
can't hang out
basically.
with you
Hey,
no
let me.
more.
All right. So next subject that was on the podcast. Do you think females or male? No, not females. Do you think females could have male best friends?
yes. I have one right now.
yeah, I'm about to say.
And even if he was the last penis on earth, no thank you.
See. This is where the
But
confusion
we just
comes
gotta
in.
say male best friends,
This-
like no
No,
extra
no.
layers on top of that. Just
Just male friendship, just a
Okay, yeah.
friendship
Yes.
on both
Platonic.
sides.
Yes.
So therefore, if you were to call him late night, 3:00 in the morning, like, "Hey, I'm lonely, I want to Netflix and chill," he won't be like, "Yeah, pull up."
I've
Nope.
had a friend like that. I called them. They were like, "Bitch, get the off my phone."
Right,
And
like,
I
go-
was- and I
Go
was-
call
I
that
wasn't
nigga.
even-
Don't
I
call
wasn't
me.
even on no Netflix and chill. It was literally just like, "Bitch, you're not gonna know what this hoe just texted me." He was like, "Get the off my phone. I'm not talking to you. Talk to me in the morning,
Facts.
bitch. I'm closed." Hang up.
I'm talking about a friend like that's not gonna think you playing, because I have friends that if they call me like that, I'll probably say the same shit because I just think they're playing.
But no, like
But-
No, in dead ass.
But
But-
I've
Like,
never called them and been like, "Hey," like it's always just been like,
Well, I mean,
"Oh my
obviously,
God,
if you-
this just happened." Like it's gonna be like, "Oh my God, did you know that this nigga just hit me up again?" They're gonna be like, "Talk to me in the morning. We gonna have a conversation. We'll do this later."
I need to be in my right mind.
Right.
Stick a pin in that
Either
shit.
that, or they're just not gonna answer my call. And text me in
Mm-mm.
the morning and be like, "Bitch, you good?" I've never had that situation.
Straight male friends?
Yes,
Yeah,
male friends,
straight.
male friends. I've never had that situation.
You ain't never met my best friend. Oh no, you ain't never met.
No, I'm not talking about me. I'm not. No, don't get me
No,
wrong. I have.
I'm just
yeah.
saying, like,
I have.
straight male friends. Like I've never, and we were both simultaneously in relationships.
Yeah, I have female
And,
friends, so
like,
I'm not talking about me.
That it was nothing like it was very, very. And I think the biggest part because we were both simultaneously in relationships, we also like talked about boundaries and what our partners, respected as boundaries. So we abided
Right.
by that. Like it's not hard to have these conversations. I don't know why people make it so difficult.
I don't know why. Like, I feel like when she talks, she just talks about her and her friends.
I mean, because
Because-
that's what she
You
knows.
Question about friends.
Right, but I'm saying like you make it
How
seem like
many of us
everybody
have
is,
them?
because let me tell you something.
I'm
A
talking about my
yeah, a
friends.
conversation can solve a lot of problems,
Yeah.
but that's so hard for people to do.
I just have.
It really is, 'cause
I
you know-
I just have well-rounded
It-
friends.
But you know why
It is-
though? Too many
it is
people
so
are
hard.
afraid of hurting someone else's feelings and not staying true to them.
No, too many people are afraid of looking at themselves in the mirror. That's what it is.
My friends are a little bit too. They be
Yeah.
telling me too much.
A lot of people are
Well,
afraid to look in the
You
mirror.
already know me, so
My people love me,
Yeah.
so I don't.
Because
I've
in
never
order to
had
have a
situation
conversation, you have to be able to take criticism.
We have no filters.
You have to be able
though.
to
Yeah.
take it without being emotional. A lot of people can't have a conversation without emotionally being involved. Like their feelings get hurt when they hear
then
the
we are the
truth.
wrong
I'm
people
about to
for
say that
you.
I've never had those situations arise like that, though. That's interesting. I mean, I know it happens for some. For
Yeah,
some people,
that's
but
just
it's
like, yeah.
how you handle the situation is going to be the outcome.
So
That's
I
just like
always say,
management.
like, if I can't be 100 with you, then we can't be friends.
That's crazy because I'm down. I'm down a lot.
Like, if I can't come to you and
I'm
check
down a
you,
lot.
or you
Right, if I
can't check me,
you can't check
we
me,
not
like,
really friends.
Right. If you don't respect my boundaries, we're not friends. Like,
Cause I check your ass all the time and you check
I'm
me
not worried
back.
about us.
But we
Well,
family
that's
though.
what I'm saying,
But
Don't worry
like,
about
like
us.
in that in the whole reference to what those dudes were talking about on the
Right.
podcast, for me personally, if I set a boundary and you still go against that, I'm actively avoiding you. You are no longer my friend. Why are you? Because now things are weird. You made shit weird. Even if we are platonic friends and you try to hit me up on some weird shit one day, like, hey, like you trying to do this, I'm gonna be like, bro, you're f***ing weird. Like, why would you hit me up? That's a boundary. Like, that's what we talked about. Why would you?
I can see that too.
But it's just like, because it's just like, why would you? Like, I would sit there phone like, bitch, don't talk to me again because that was some bullshit. Like, don't. Why would you hit me up like that? You know our relationship. You know how I am, and you proceed to go against a boundary that is obvious.
Try to push your luck, and then you get told about
your
stuff.
luck.
Right.
Come on. If you wanted that, just go ahead, go on OBT. It's probably cheaper. Like, you could probably, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you wanted that, then go get it, but not from me as a friend. Like, you're being weird. You're pushing your boundaries. You can go get that somewhere else.
So I'm curious to this podcast of females can be friends with a male or have a male best friend and be strictly platonic. What was their take on it?
I told you they said it was bullies because they said no female should technically have a platonic male friend.
I've noticed a lot of men say stuff like that.
But you have to understand the men it's coming from.
Right.
Indeed.
You understand?
Right.
One, some men don't know how to say no to pussy. That's true. One.
Oh my gosh, that is. I'd be scared of those types of people.
Some men don't know how to say no to pussy, and I've learned that personally.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Because if you realize the dudes that would go crazy over Instagram chicks and go crazy over this model and that model, if you meet their baby mamas,
nothing like that. Quite the opposite.
you feel me?
You probably got like one that looked like an Instagram model, but she the one that
you feel me?
He hates the most.
Right. And then you also have some men that have never turned down pussy. You know what I mean? They've never had pussy to where they could turn pussy down. They've only taken what they've gotten in their life.
Right.
You feel me? So when it comes their way, it's like, I need it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to understand the kind of man you're talking to.
There's women like that too with like male attention. There are women who just like
that don't get it like that. Yeah.
They're just like, oh my gosh.
They
like,
crave it.
They crave it. It's like
a drug. Right. It's a drug.
Like, oh God.
That's
it's just feeding the ego. That's what it is.
That's why loyalty is a big thing when coming to like homeboys. Like you have to know who your homeboy is. And once I realized that, it was like, because real deal, like I had a whole bunch of homeboys. And I've literally seen homeboys smash homeboys ladies. I've seen homeboys smash homeboys fiancés. I've seen homeboys smash homeboys wives. You feel me? And these are dudes that I considered homeboys.
You thought.
You feel me? So if you gonna smash his wife,
shit, I'm not bringing my wife around you. Wrong with you? That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, if you slide into his lady DM,
off for the coochie, dog. Just get your money up.
And my whole thing is, it's like, bro, there's females all over this world.
He probably wants you more than you think.
Thank you.
This world.
He probably wants you way.
And you gotta go and smash
your homeboys.
Your homeboys?
Yeah.
This is why I think it's weird when like male friends who, especially if like you guys have made it very clear, like, oh my gosh, you're my friend. You actively say it, you push it, you call each other friends. You could talk about relationship stuff because you actively know we're not in a relationship. That's not where this is going. And then they still proceed to try to get intimate with you after all of that.
You know one thing?
Like, really? Why me?
That's another reason why I stopped dealing with females on the Caribbean scene. Because dealing with females on the Caribbean scene, you'll end up dealing with a female that dealt with a dude that you know that you didn't even know. Because everything is so secretive in the Caribbean. So you can go to a party and meet a chick and never seen her before. Meet a chick, start talking to her, blase, cool, y'all rocking. 2 months later, she posts a throwback picture from 2 years ago, and she booed up with this. And you're like, huh?
That happened to me the other day.
You're like, what just happened?
I'm scrolling. There's a community blunt in the Caribbean community. We put it like that.
Yeah, getting passed around. We know about it.
Yeah. And I'm just like, wait, weren't you with?
Small goddamn woman.
That's why I just, it's not even worth it because everybody been with everybody.
No, whoa.
Understand
Everybody been
I
with
know.
somebody.
A lot of people in the Caribbean.
I stay out of this
You know what I mean?
Orlando community.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, that's why anytime y'all like, let's go out the country, I'm with it. Let's go here, I'm with it because Orlando is just like
Orlando's
it's
a
cesspool.
small boy. It is a cesspool.
It's a cesspool.
Very much so.
A lot of
I actually, who was I talking to the other day that said that to me? It was like, yo, Orlando way too small.
Yeah,
Way.
Orlando's a cesspool.
And this Caribbean community as
because it's like Orlando is a cesspool, and it kind of like it's crazy because it mixes with New York as well, like because everybody from Orlando knows everybody in New York. So
because everybody from New York lives in Orlando.
no. Swishing from up north coming back around. Yeah, that's what's happening.
Yo, it's real. It's so bad, right? That when a new chick pops in Orlando on the scene, it's like a f***ing alarm.
Oh my God.
It's like an alarm.
She's the prey.
Pray.
And these niggas is
Pray.
horse. Like, who
Once
gonna get her
you
first?
show face on the scene, or you attacked.
That's why I say it.
That's why I've seen so many married couples come to the Orlando Caribbean scene and separate.
Yep.
Because it's hard. It's hard unless y'all in the sharing is caring. It's hard.
Nope.
Because if you come out without your wife or you come out without your husband,
Somebody been eyeballing you.
Since,
Long time.
3 months
Listen.
ago.
Long time ago.
Listen.
Long. And it was waiting.
They know
Just
you.
waiting.
Ask the promoter, and the promoter know you because he friends with your man.
listen. By
Just
the time you come out, by
waiting.
the time you come out by yourself, whoever that person that wanted you, know your name, know what kind of
Your
car you
address,
drive.
how much children you have, where you're working, how much money y'all
I'm telling
making,
you.
what
I'm
problems
telling you.
y'all have.
I done got so many phone calls about chicks that pop up on the, yo, where's she from? Who's she with? Who's she dealing with? And that's literally how it goes. So, man,
This
listen.
is why I don't go.
But it's not just Orlando. That's everywhere, though. That's everywhere. If you a new piece, males too. Males too. I done had homeboys fresh in the city, and my homegirls will inbox me in my inbox. Yo, who was that? I want that. You know what I mean? So it go both ways. I'm not trying to make it seem like dudes are the only dogs out here, because these chicks out here be barking too. You feel me? Chicks out here be barking too, because
They
when
sure
a
do.
new piece of meat is on the roster, they hey.
That could not be that's why I stay inside. When I started going out to Caribbean events, everybody was asking who I am, and I said my mother's name promptly.
After that, shit got shut down.
Right.
I think for me,
Shut
with
down.
this I think I've made myself such a bitch to everybody
Yeah.
that y'all know not to f me.
Hey, people still trying to come up to me to this day.
Ah,
And it's crazy.
it's
'cause I'll be like,
hilarious.
wait a minute, my mama was just talking about you on the phone to her other friend because you the one who got the prostitute. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it be something crazy though.
What?
But this is
Whoa.
crazy. So, all right. So
Uh-huh.
now, that's not crazy. So you as a grown man, right? Let's say me and you friends, right? You get to a point where you don't party no more.
Uh-huh.
Your daughter outside. It's not crazy that me, that used to party with you,
Now partying with she?
partying, trying to
Yes.
Mm.
That's happened. That's happened. It's
Fuck
still
partying.
happening. People who have been partying with my mother.
that's crazy.
To
That's
me.
nasty.
coming up to me being like, "Who your mother?"
Because they just watch her as a child,
As a
bringing
child.
it.
As a
We go
child.
circle right back now to pedophilia.
So let's think about this mentally, right? Because if you know Keisha, you've known Keisha. You've known Amira, which means you've probably known her before she was even legal.
This man trying to tell you, they've been preying on her.
You
Because
know what I mean?
she's
I
been
peek
known.
up a little bit every so often as a child, but like,
Right.
I never really actively stepped in. Now when I'm outside and they see me whining and drinking, and that's
But
when they're like,
that's
"Oh, where you come from?"
That's crazy.
And I'm
to me.
very
But
quick
now-
to turn them down because I do not like. Oh my gosh,
But
I cannot stand a man on Medicare.
It's both of them though.
You old.
It's both of them because remember we've been around since they were young,
Right.
right? So now they're flourished into these
Women.
women, and it's just like, so y'all been watching them since they was young too.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, I consider them nieces. You feel me? And that's what they should be. If you and Keisha even friends.
Keisha, my sister, they
If
know. I tell y'all all the
If
time.
you and Keisha are friends and y'all used to party all the time, there's no reason. I don't give a she was 30. You still shouldn't be looking at her.
Because her sister is.
You know what I
30.
mean?
It's 30.
You shouldn't be looking at her.
Any of them.
And it's not even an age thing. It's like they grew up as children in your genre. Like
Even with Code, his two sons, good looking gentlemen.
Oh gosh, and there's women who be
Good looking.
praying.
Listen,
Praying.
don't till we went to fucking Trinidad.
Listen.
Trinidad.
Listen.
And we watching
Yeah.
the older one. Because I
Of course, that's
don't
my
want to say
nigga.
the name, right?
that's my bone cool.
The little
Hey.
one, listen, the little one coming behind the older one, but the older one, you know.
Let me tell you something, right? I ain't gonna lie to you. If I had went to Trinidad, it would have been problems.
Okay.
So back to what we were saying.
Even, but I like it.
It would have been
It's so
problems.
funny that we
Because we
grew
would have had
up
a, oh
because
man.
Obviously, our parents, they don't really go and party too much unless
Right.
they're like getting paid or having a
Right,
gig or something.
right.
And I think it's so funny because we went to on the boat ride. It was all of us, and some man tried to talk to me, and with the swiftness, Jordan comes around.
Yeah, my guy.
And he stayed up like this.
And mind you, his woman is in front of him dancing on him, and he just slowly like creep over, like as she's dancing, and he's like, "What he say to you?"
My guy. Yes. Yes. You
Like,
see what I'm
But we
talking
don't
about?
play that.
We actively, because if I see an older woman coming up to him, I'm fully, what she say?
Right. What's she talking about?
But
She asked me if I
that's,
tuned
that's
down.
how it should be.
Like, we're not, that's weird.
That's how it should be.
And
But
I clock weird stuff, and the funniest thing is a lot of older gentlemen feel that because I am young, they know I'm like in my 20s-ish, right?
You're in your prime,
They're
girl.
like, oh, she's in her prime, she's young, she don't know no better. The issue is I do know better. The issue is I'm sitting here and I'm just like, damn, if I was a bad person, I would scam you for your pension. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I could punish you for being a creep by taking your money, but I'm not going to do that. And it's the fact that these people, they pray and they come up because they think in their head they're just like, yeah, she don't know no better. She's young. She doesn't get. And they
You're
think that they have an
impressionable.
opportunity, like, and I'm impressionable. I haven't been. No one knows. I haven't been. I'm not a blunt in the Caribbean community.
Right.
I have no one even rolled me.
But that's the crazy
I
part.
haven't even rolled yet. I'm still on the plant.
Oh, Jesus,
I'm still
Lord.
on the plant.
I'm sick of you right now.
I'm still on the plant in
You
Mexico.
ain't even picked yet.
And they ain't picked me yet. And listen, and I'm not. No.
That's the crazy part. Like when we see stuff like that, that's the type of dudes that should be getting called out. That's the type of dudes that need to take their ass in jail for 24 hours to get tightened up. Because what are you out here doing? First of all, why are you 50 in a club?
Why are you 50 in a club? Why are you 50 in a? As a grown individual, not even just a man, because women be doing the same. It's very rare. You don't usually see 50-year-old women in the clubs because sometimes
It's nothing wrong with you popping in once in a while.
Right. But constant? Constant.
Y'all
Every
50 in the
weekend.
club every weekend.
to the point where they saying, you want to go to the same section? Huh? You're a kid. You're a grandpa. You're a grandparent.
Listen, I see it all the time. Okay? I see it all
I stopped going to
time.
clubs out here.
Not even Caribbean even. Just
Clubs
in
in
general.
I've stopped going to clubs out here for the main fact that there's so many older people, and it's usually older gentlemen because at these clubs,
Yes.
a lot of times they're
Yes.
so weird about letting older women in.
Mhm.
Yes.
So older men, because they have money, they let them in. So a lot of older men constantly, and it's like I'll be around like other girls my age on the dance floor. I don't know none of these girls, but it'll always be a creepy older man just like slithering in between talking to each. and
Like
every
Too
single
Good
girl.
Snake too,
When-
yeah.
When one girl rejects, he goes to the next one.
Yep.
And mind you, as he's going to the next one, he counts his money. He's like, yeah, you know, you trying to go in my section. You know, I don't know if you noticed, but yeah,
That's
and he's just throwing his
crazy.
money.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, really? You got a 401k. What is going on? Like, seriously,
That's
that don't make no sense.
that's
That makes
That's-
no sense to me.
but it's a reality.
But this is why I enjoyed when I was outside of the country. They have a limit to people can get into clubs.
Right.
A limit. They moment you're 30, they don't want you in the club at all. They do not let. It depends where you are. Granted, it really does depend where you are because certain neighborhoods they really don't care because they just want the money.
Yeah.
But like the college area, the college town, if you're above, even if you're 29, they're like, don't come up in here because there's 18 to 25-year-olds in here. You're weird if you're trying to come in here.
Right.
Past you 40 trying to come in the club. There's 18-year-olds.
That's what I ain't gonna lie. That's a major thing I think that needs to happen. Like it should be 18 to 25,
Like, make it
26 to, you know what I mean?
Give
And then,
give
and then
Yeah.
but we used to do that though.
We used to do it on
Back
our
in the
own. It wasn't a
days.
requirement.
Right.
It
It was
your
like-
own,
Right.
It was like a 25 and up
Yeah.
party
Like, we
or
used to have
40
JJ
and
Whispers.
up party.
Yeah, JJ Whispers
Yep.
was some grown folks.
Yeah.
You won't go to JJ Whispers and see
If you were young,
the young bucks.
But that's American Legion now.
Right.
But that's what they need to do with people for some reason. I guess they just want the money.
No, the difference is, right. Let me tell you all the differences. It's a big difference in Orlando, too. We have the older generation not wanting to let go and let the younger generation take over.
Live.
They
Mhm.
don't.
The
I've noticed
older
that
generation
heavy.
wants to hold on to
Mhm.
it and keep dragging it and
And
dragging
every
it and
single
milking it.
time the younger generation has input, it's shit.
Yeah.
Every single time the younger generation want to do something, it's not good. It's shit. Why you want to do that? You making it horrible and this and that.
But you know what's funny? They'll hire the younger ones to work for them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Come up with the ideas.
This is what I'm saying. We're not
Plans.
trying to build people up. We're not trying to build our youngins up. We're not trying to show them the way. We're just trying to hold and milk the cow until the cow dead.
Right.
That's it.
Drop over.
That's it. Because we have a lot of talent, a lot of young, talented youths in this world,
No
period.
opportunity.
You know what I mean? And if they had direction, if they had true leaders to where we can show them how things are done and let them take over, we would grow so much better. But we're just trying to hold them down. Like, let me
But
stay
not
up
only
top.
that, I think people scared. People scared that young people gonna take over.
But that's
their-
what's
their
supposed
stuff.
to
Right,
happen.
It's gonna happen.
Right.
That's what's
The
supposed to
issue-
happen.
Right, but they're not ready to let go yet,
The
so they
issue is
frightened.
They have no choice to let go because when they all dead, who gonna take over?
Exactly. They
But-
should
When
go
there's
in the
no-
ground.
When everybody in crutches and they senile and they're nurses, who is going to take over?
But you see the problem, the reason why they're doing it is because they never built a foundation to where they can leave somebody in place and
Right.
still be maintained.
Correct.
All they did was self.
Correct.
So now if you leave, they just forget about you. There's no reason to hold on to you because you didn't build no foundation.
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead of building a foundation and starting something to where, all right, I can step down and let you run it, but I still eat off of this.
Yeah.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
Right.
You just run it now because you're the younger generation. Now you
You're
take
gonna take
over.
it over.
You know what I mean? The Indians did it. There's an Indian DJ crew that's gonna keep going because they keep rejuvenating and bringing in younger cats.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
people,
they and the older ones are taking
Yeah.
them under their wing.
people just don't want to do that, and that's how it should be.
I mean,
That's
let's
how
talk
it
about
should
that.
be.
Look at Natural Mystic. Natural Mystic been around since I was a little
And they're gonna
girl.
continue to be around.
Yeah, because they continue to bring in younger DJs and train
And
them.
train them, let them go along with them, let them
Right.
carry their name and build a foundation.
That's all you need.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Big up Natural Mystic, by the way.
They old heads. They don't want to move. They don't want to do nothing. When the younger generation, everybody, oh gosh, I don't want to. And then they complain. And then
Well, you
it's
gotta
just-
understand.
And in the same breath, they'll complain about the younger generation don't want to.
They don't want to do nothing. They're
They don't wanna
lazy.
do
They don't
nothing
want.
for
They
the
don't want to
culture.
learn.
They don't want to. They don't want to do this. They don't
Let
want to
me-
participate in the culture. This is why the culture going to
Mhm.
be
Let
Then-
me tell you something. Let me tell you something, right? The older Caribbean community love to talk about culture.
Hmm.
And then when it comes down to culture,
Them that know
all
the
they go
culture.
after is money.
Mhm.
Okay? Because in reality, the older community don't want to let go. It has nothing to do with the culture. It's about money. Because half of them are eating off of Carnival. Half of them are eating off of these
Absolutely.
Juves. Half of them are
Yeah.
eating off of these parties. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Carnival weekend. How many promoters do we have throwing parties under 25?
Under
Matter of fact,
25?
under 30.
None.
I can name about 7 to 8
I'm about to
DJs.
say, I could tell you probably like one. I can't even tell you.
No, I don't, because they're all. I think all
They
promoters
all-
are all older.
And they're all going to be working for the older promoters.
Yes, they're going to be working for the older.
They're going to be working that weekend, but
It'll
they're all going to
it'll
be on
a
older
party
parties.
That's
Yeah.
directed towards younger people. They'll have like a.
I don't even think we have any younger promoters that are under 30.
We have some, but nobody follows them because nobody's willing to pass the baton.
Mm,
You know what I mean? As a younger promoter, you have to get the baton passed.
right.
Think of everybody that's doing something now came from somewhere.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Nobody's, you know what I mean? Even down to Junction, down to Rum Jungle, down to everybody started somewhere.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And got a boost from somewhere. But
Mhm.
none of these dudes are trying to boost these younger kids. They just keep trying to boost themselves with these kids under them.
Right.
It's gonna get
Right.
to a point where
And then it's
one
gonna
year-
die.
Yep, it's gonna be 1 year where it just dies because no
Yeah,
one knows
there's
what
gonna
to
be
do.
nothing
And
left.
the younger generation has nothing. They're gonna have to just figure it out and make a whole new everything from scratch.
Right.
Let me tell
And
you,
it's not. It's gonna be shit because it's from scratch.
Right.
it's gonna be a blend community in Orlando. It's gonna be hip hop and Caribbean.
Yeah.
The Caribbean community is going to die
Mm-hmm.
if we don't make some changes quick. And when I mean quick, I
Quick
mean
and fast, and
extremely
in a
quick.
hurry.
The Caribbean community is gonna die.
Because if you think about it now, right? Most of our Caribbean backing, support, promoters, board are elders.
Mhm.
Elders to us.
Mhm.
So just imagine what it's going to be 10 years from now.
Bro, if you think about the Caribbean. All right, I'm not even gonna say Caribbean. Let's talk about the soca community in Orlando right now.
Mm.
Name 5 successful promoters in Orlando.
In the soca community?
Soca, just soca, not reggae, just soca.
You talking about parties or?
Caribbean promoters, parties, events. Right now, promoters, not people that used to have parties. People that right now that you know is probably gonna throw a party, maybe Carnival Weekend.
Veil.
But that's the only Carnival Weekend. That's only gonna be. I'm talking about not just Carnival Weekend. I'm
Oh, you're talking about like
Orlando. Period.
um
Outside of Carnival Weekend, 5
soca party or Caribbean
Soca.
party?
soca. Because the reason why I say soca because we used to have a soca scene. We used to
Yeah,
have
heavy.
soca fets.
Heavy.
You know what I mean?
Starting to, like,
Heavy.
break off into
Now
more,
look
like,
at it.
You'll see more reggae dance,
Right.
Afro beats.
Take away
It's a combo plate.
Take
now.
away the blends. Take away the blends where you might hear 1 or 2 soca parties.
Mhm.
Tell me outside of Carnival Weekend, some successful. And if I take John Jett and Dogla out the situation, who you calling?
Ghostbusters, because there ain't none of them left.
So when I say the soca scene is about to die, it's about to die.
I think it's already died.
Well, I mean they're hanging on.
We're
by,
just not burying.
they're
it.
they're hanging on by throwing juves every other week,
That's what
and
happens when you do not
but
allow the younger generation.
we're
to-
gonna
when you
die
don't
off.
Include the younger generation in it, so now they feel ostracized, so they turn to other communities. and
Yeah.
focus
Yeah.
on
Because they've given the American community all access to throw Caribbean and Afro beats in their events because
Absolutely.
we've died.
Absolutely.
We've died. The only reason why soca
And watered down at
and
that too.
yeah, soca and Afro beats and reggae has made it to the American events is because Caribbean people made it to the American events. That's the only reason why.
We've allowed
You know what I
it.
mean? They've
We've
actually
allowed
started
it.
catering certain events to us.
Right.
Listen, this is-
Caribbean flag event, Caribbean brunch, this,
is
that.
like, this is why I said we have to gatekeep our culture. I get it. You know, Caribbean people love to share. We love to be.
We
we're
like to
prideful.
be
Yes,
inclusive.
we're prideful. We love. Our
We are
culture, so we want to be
inclusive.
loud about it, and I love that for us. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, look at the cost of the costumes at Carnival now. They were not like that.
Girl, they're
They're
mortgage payments.
They're giving. I'm sorry.
They're mortgage
For
payments.
bodysuits
This
and feathers.
gonna piss me off. They
A
are
bra
giving
and panty.
Goddamn influencers. American influencers.
Free costumes.
Free costumes. Free
For
American.
TikTok.
over.
We have American artists
For
that are
TikTok.
getting free costumes.
Yeah.
Free
On trucks.
On
costumes.
truck.
On trucks.
They're giving this is what's happening, and now we're starting to see the moment. And I keep saying this: the moment that we allowed people outside of our community to enter our community, it was tainted. You know how many years ago when I was a kid, everybody whining and dancing on each other, and nobody ever brought up, oh, she whining with my man, he whining with my nobody, because it was free. They were carefree. They did not sexualize it. It wasn't until I got older and especially because I'm half American, so my daddy has a lot to say. He looking at my mom and he's like, what's wrong with you? Why would you do that? It's such a sexual move. In her head, what the f- are you talking about? Like, this is not sexual to us. And then it just gets worse and
But
worse.
it's different though because back then, like when we grew up, the Caribbean people that was in New York had just came from the Caribbean.
But
You know
that's
what I mean?
but that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm getting at. The more when it became Americanized,
It got
when
watered
they
down.
had access and they saw that, they sexualized us. Now it's sexual. Now it's
Well, yeah, from the time we
but what
left
I'm
the
saying,
Caribbean.
now it's even tainted in our
Yeah.
community to now where we are having a hard time with having that, trying to get back to that mentality. We're never gonna get back to that mentality.
Never. We're
Never.
not. We're
Never.
not. We're
People
too far
People
gone.
killing people over
A wine.
over a wine now. Like
Our liquor wine never hurt nobody.
It's
Does
Not Caribbean people.
But this is what but what I'm saying, yes, that's what I'm saying. That's literally what I'm getting at. Like the fact that we've allowed that type of intellect and mentality to seep into
To infiltrate,
into our culture.
We didn't allow. They asked for it.
But that is the issue.
That's the huge
And
issue.
it's not even just like I can't even say we asked for it because
We asked for it because we invited them. We invited them.
we
to
just
come.
said because we're inclusive.
yes,
Yeah.
and it
We're
starts with-
proud of our culture, right? So we want everybody
Right,
to enjoy
It
it.
starts with people in New York. They're out. Everybody's like, what is this? What is this?
Eastern
carnival?
Parkway
What is this?
every
carnival? And then
September.
next year you start to see the locals getting it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
wow, I love this, and they're getting
And then
dirty.
Miami,
They're
and then
dirty.
Because they
Yeah.
live on the Parkway and
Right.
they see obviously the Parkway
And
shut
that-
down. So
and
what they
that
doing?
They
They
see
sitting on
it,
their stoop.
They see it. They sexualize it. They appropriate it. They just want to be a part of it, and it fucks it up for us. And this is why I actively say we need to gatekeep. The moment people
yeah, but
stopped,
it's impossible to gatekeep.
the moment that people stopped and they started letting all of they were like, guys, the moment that we started seeing influencers, these bands invite influencers out, fly them out to Atlanta Carnival, Miami, start to see influencers.
Trinidad
Influencers who
Carnival.
probably, mind you, don't even have Caribbean friends. They just have a lot of money and they've seen them at another festival in another
Right.
country.
Right.
They fly them out. They get free costumes, this and that. Meanwhile, me, who's trying to embrace my culture,
Gotta
have
pay
to-
$3,000, and then not to mention
because
you gotta pay $1,200 for your makeup and be up at 1 a.m. so you can get your makeup done
And
for
by the
road.
way, I wasn't the one who told people to hey guys, join me for Carnival. I was a baby. I wasn't the one who said that shit.
it's not about culture no more.
It's
People-
not.
It's not about
It's
culture
about money.
no more.
It's not about the
Incentives.
culture anymore. They
It's
took
not.
it away. They just want the vibe. They want the
They
aesthetic.
want the
They
money.
want the
The money.
They
aesthetic.
want the
want
Down
money.
bottom
show.
line is money.
And it's
They
sickening.
want the money because people in Trinidad can't even afford to play mass in Trinidad.
Right.
Nope, they cannot. They cannot.
People in Trinidad. I spoke to
Everybody
somebody.
makes their we make our
Listen.
own Monday wear. We make our own Tuesday wear.
Exactly.
We-
I spoke to somebody Carnival Saturday in the front gate of a party. They was asking for 1,200
TT?
US
What?
Yep, US.
to go
900
inside.
1200 US, yep. Multiple.
To go inside. 1,200 US. Who in Trinidad paying that?
So it's just like, what the hell is going on? What is going on?
A lot of people are coming into Trinidad.
They're infiltrating.
Therefore, they're not looking for the locals to support Carnival no more.
Gentrifying
That's it.
Exactly.
That's it.
We are gentrifying.
That's it.
Carnival.
You know what's next?
Gentrifying our culture.
You know what's next? U.S. is going to go into Trinidad, just like they're doing in the Virgin Islands,
Yep.
and start buying every shit
Yep.
up.
Just
So
like
that so Trinidad, it won't go back to the Trinidadian community.
There you go.
Economy.
Honestly,
There you go.
Trinidad is in a weird position right now. To even if U.S. went into Trinidad, honestly,
It
would
might be a
du-
savior?
It would be a double-edged sword, only
Yeah.
because of what's going on with Venezuela right now, and it would scare people right out of Trinidad. What? They would go running to the hills if America went into Trinidad.
I just want to tell y'all, I like how we don't even say edit on this shit no more. We just cuss it.
Yeah, well, because I go through. Last time I was like, oh, 17 F-bombs, okay.
She said
17. We've
That's
been
it?
cussing this whole
No,
daggone
it
show.
was
We did better. We did-
After your
So,
editing?
To edit, it's like in 15-minute intervals, so it was 17 F-bombs in 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's Daryl.
So the translation is 15 minutes. Honestly, it's either they're all coming from you or they're all coming from him. There's
That's
no-
what I said.
Like she never drops.
I mean, I do drop them
Every so
now.
often, it's not like,
I try to be mindful of your editing, but, you know.
Yeah.
but we can wrap up.
Yeah, let's do that. So, I mean, this actually turned out to be a pretty goddamn good episode, huh?
Conversation, you know?
Yeah, man. We went all over, came back.
Hey,
went over
we
again.
circled back. We
Came back.
Pedophiles,
God, I don't know how we got to half. We never know how we get to half the shit we talk
bounce
about.
Back and forth from pedophiles to culture, to pedophiles to carnival, back to pedophiles, back over to carnival. So I don't know how.
Oh man, I love it. This is what makes us us.
Mm.
Anyway, y'all, it's been real. It's your girl Empress Davy alongside.
Your boy, man, Trini, man.
Don't
Hey,
forget to like, share, subscribe. Why am I rocking? Like, what the f- is this?
You ready to go?
Make sure to like, subscribe, share,
All that.
watch our old episodes. We on Spotify too.
All that.
All that good shit. Until next time, we out.
Peace.
What?
I had to stretch my leg.